Welcome, Homesteading Dime at a Time. I'm Greg. Today we're going to talk to you about just some basic hand tools, not just hammers, squares, stuff like that, just to make your job a lot easier, especially when you're doing little building projects like this or whatever building projects you're making around your own homestead. If you like this, please hit the like button, and if you have any questions, please let me know. If you have suggestions about tools, even if you have a tool that makes your life easier, hey, send me a picture of it. I like to see it too. So, homesteading on a dime works both ways, both my input and your input. So I'd love to hear from you guys as you like to listen to me. So in a few minutes, we'll get ready and we'll start talking about some tools. Thank you very much. See you in a few.
And if you like this channel, don't forget to subscribe. And what he said, send pictures or anything. But if you have any comments, don't forget to post them in the comments below. Thanks.
And just remember, giver. Hi, I'm back. And I'm going to talk to you about just a few hand tools here, like I was saying earlier in the thing. I want to talk about hammers in general. This is your normal 16-ounce framing hammer, curved claw. This is my favorite. I've had this for years. If I'd say I had it over 30 years, it's not a word of a lie. This is my 24-ounce framing hammer, straight claw. I really like it for the simple reason that it's heavy enough, so when you're doing a lot of hammering, you can really drive those nails home. I do have a 26-ounce somewheres amongst my stuff. I don't know where it is, but if you're doing like hammering in the big long 6 and 8 inch hard ox nails for doing pole barns and the pole barn nails, yeah, 28 ounce is a lifesaver because you can really hit them hard. The other thing I like about the straight claw is you can use them as for digging. But if you need to pick up let's say a piece of board, you got to lift it up, you can't bend over, you can always take your claws, drive them in, and pick it up. And you can do it with a curved one, but you generally rock your knuckles trying to do it. So, but a good heavy hammer, because you're on a homestead, you're going to be doing a lot of fencing. So, yeah, 24 to a 28 ounce. It takes a while to get used to using them, but they save your body in a long time and save a lot of time. Big hammers. These are normal ones you can buy at most stores. This is just a 2-pound sledge, or 2 or 3 pound. What I do is I take a 6-pound sledge, I cut the handle off so it's about the same length. And the reason I do that is if you're out here, we use a lot of rebar, and we just cut it into 4-foot lengths and we pound it to the ground and tie our fencing to it. So instead of trying to do it with a big long 3-handled and you got 2 feet of handle sticking out and you're trying to start your rebar, this is just a lot easier and just saves a lot of time. So that's just my take on hammers, normal hammers. Pry bars. This little guy here, it looks kind of weird. It's called a cat's paw. And when you have a nail and you can't get it with your claw hammer to dig it out, this is what this is designed for. I got a nail in there, I can't get it in with the claw hammer, and this cat's paw, you take it and you start it just at the head of the nail, you drive it in, and you can pull it up just enough to get your crowbar or your hammer to pull out your nail. It's just that simple. It's called a cat's paw. You can, most building supplies carry them. This one actually I got from Sears a long time ago. But it's a real time saver if you're trying to, especially if you're building something and you find out you put a nail in the wrong spot. This is an easy without damaging a bunch of wood to get the nail pulled, or started to pull. And then your normal pry bars. This is a handy one. I really do like this one. I got goosenecks and pry bars all the way up to 36 and 48 inch. If you start pulling really long, let's say you're remodeling a fence, and they, like this farmer out here, he loves the 6 and 8 inch Ardox nails. And you need a 4-foot crowbar to pull them things out because they're in there really good. I got to the point where I just started cutting them. It was just too hard. These Wonder Bars are really nice and handy. The new ones that I started using just for when I'm building, I have these ones. They're made by Titan, and you can get them all different sizes. I got some really tiny ones, and I got ones that are bigger than these. And they're really nice if you're building and you know you need to just pry something up, just you know, like for doing doors or windows, you're trying to line something up. These things are slick. Like, I mean, they're super slick. I really love these ones. And you know, like this one here, this one, you know, you got the cat's paw here and you got the cat's paw there, but I don't like it because for using it as a cat's paw. Because this one's really short and that one's kind of long, so this one takes a little bit more to get it in there, and this one's the smaller one, but you have to hit it with the hammer like up here, so it's kind of a bit of a pain, but it also works. It works really good for that too, so I've used it a lot for lining stuff up and that kind of stuff. The other thing is a good ratchet strap. This is a 10,000 pound ratchet strap. This is a long, I think this is a 20 footer. We've used these a lot. Where I use the big ones. This is a 2-inch, and even the small little 1-inch ones. I use them a lot. Just for when we're building the candy shack. This is the building we're in. I'm not finished it yet. It's just roughed out. We wanted to square the walls up for putting the sheeting on. We ran one ratchet strap from corner to corner, both ways. Then I got these little tie-down anchors, screwed them up. And just by manipulating which ratchet strap I tightened, I can square the building. And our bull knocked our door down to our hay shed. I used those to put it back up. That's another video I got to show you how I did that, or kind of explain how I did it. But those things on this farm, they saved us from trying to get a tractor or something to get out where we couldn't physically lift it. We just used those and move stuff, put stuff back up, to you name it. We've done it with tie downs. It's amazing what you can do. It's just limited to your imagination what you can do with those things. I've even pulled out vehicles with them. Just ratcheting a little bit, and you have to have two because you ratchet one and you back it off and ratchet the other one. I've done it. It takes a long time, but I've done it. Another thing is just your basic squares. Most people, like nowadays there's more squares than you can do. This is just your normal framing hammer, framing square. Just your normal run-of-the-mill framing square. Use it a lot. These are my quick squares. You can get them from little guys to big guys. And this one here, it has a movable slider in it. I use this one if I'm ever doing stairs and if I'm doing rafters and stuff where I got to trim the one end off. I use this because I can set it and then I can just continue to keep marking. This one's a really handy one, and I use these actually a lot. They're always in my box of tools, or I like to call it tickle trunk. Then my big square, it's my drywall square, or what we call out here a drywall square, but it's just a 4-foot square. I use it for cutting plywood. If I got to cut it to length and stuff like that, I can just draw a line and just cut it, and so be it. the one thing I noticed out here on the farm, levels. I'm a welder, so I have, by trade, I'm a welder, so I have levels coming out. Like I got, these are nice little fancy ones and my everyday ones. But for out in the farm, I just basically use my 12-inch torpedo. I have my, well, this is a laser. This is my 18-inch or 16-inch. Then this is my, I got this one. I've had this one for quite a while. This one has a tripod. It's a laser level that has a base on it. So if you're doing, you can level it. And I like this one. I got this one actually at Princess Auto, or like out here, this that I got it from. It wasn't, I think the whole thing kit cost me, I can't remember what it was. It wasn't that expensive. This also raises up and lowers down. But at least that way you can, if you're putting in posts or something, you want them all cut to the same height, you can level this out and just take your laser level and go around and mark every one, and then you know when you cut them all off, you know, $40 thing, you use it twice, it'll save you a lot of hassle. And I mean, this thing has saved me a lot of hassle. Other things that I've done since you're always lifting and moving stuff, this one, this is a jack. It's actually out of a, I think it's a little Nissan or Toyota or whatever. I go to the auto wreckers. I buy these little scissor jacks, and they're really, I like them. I got about 10 of the things running around here. I got them scattered all over the place. The reason I like these little jacks is they don't lift a little, not that much. They lift about 1,000 pounds a piece. But if you are trying to lift something or hold something, you're building something, and you just need to lift it, you stick one of these in there, and you just, you know, you go to the wreckers, a lot of times they just tell you, nothing, you know, you take 10 of them, give me a buck a piece, you know, give me $10 or $20 for 10 of them, and just go, I steal the crank and everything, and just, you know, then you go out and, you know, if you're doing fencing and stuff, you're holding up the bottom board and you're by yourself, you just take a couple of these out and they're adjustable, you can adjust them. And I use them all the time, and they're, a lot of times it's the simple tools that actually makes your life so much easier than trying to get something that's really expensive and still doesn't do the job. This, the next one here, is a good block and tackle. This is one, this is a home build. I built this one. I've lifted over 1,500 pounds with it. Mind you, I had a little heavier rope in it. This one works good. This is a 6 ply, because I do a lot of heavy rigging and stuff, so I built one. And a 4 one you can do it, because you can use these things. I use them for doing fencing. You use one of these things. They're a cable clamp grip. So, you know, you put one in here, and what you do is you lay your cable. I'll just use my rope. I gotta put a new one on there anyway. So you put your rope in there, then you put this piece in there, and then when you're pulling, this locks. So then you instead of having you know, like your normal fence stretcher, what you got about that much before you run out. So you got about 2 feet or 18 inches of a normal fence stretcher. Depending on the length of rope I got in here, you know, if you got a 100-foot rope in a 4x, you can pull 25 feet. So this one's a 6. So yeah, 100 feet, don't get me too far. But that's one of the biggest things that we've used this for. We have pictures of us doing our first fence here, and we had this tied to the truck, and we were pulling we were actually pulling predator fence to pull the predator fence tight. And we use this a lot for that, and it saved us. Also, if you're doing, let's say, a butcher on the farm, you take your animal, you know, you tie this to a tree or a beam in a building, and then you can just hoist it up with, you know, and then you're not trying to find a winch or something, or if you don't have the access to a tractor to use a loader, you just use this and just hoist it up. So these things, block and tackles, are one of one of the things that I find I use the most, and they're worth their money. They're you can buy most places you can buy the pulley separate, then you just put it together. There is places you can buy them all pre-built. You're just spending a lot of money for somebody to put the rope in and thread it and tie it and so forth. One of the other things, we were talking about squares. These tri-squares are really nice too. You get them all sizes, big ones. These are the ones I find are really handy when you just need a little 6-inch, or actually I think these are a 7-inch. Yeah, no, this one's actually a 6-inch. I got one, a couple are 7 inches. But this is a 16-inch. This is really nice for, you know, you're doing your market laying stuff out. They're really handy. One other thing is, just talking about just other little tools. I like these little, they're little 5-in-1. They come different ways. See, this is like a scraper and brush, or for rollers for cleaning them. This is just a plain one. These I use it quite a bit. This one I like it quite a bit because you got a sharpened edge here, so if you're trying to peel off gaskets and stuff, and it's a welder, so, or I am still a welder, but they come in handy. I use it for knocking off splatter and, you know, just cleaning up surfaces, and they're really handy because they're tough. They don't bend, like they're good. And I like them too because you can always pull staples out with this pointy part. And if you have bees, they work really good for another beehive tool. So do these actually make excellent hive tools if you're doing bees. But the other thing is a good tape measure. And this is just 100 foot. This is just one of your normal 100 footers. The one I like to get the fiber ones are the best ones out if you're always out and about in the yard, because they're easy to clean. If they get wet, it doesn't bother. These get rusty and they get jam up. The 300 footer are really, really handy because if you're doing something big, like laying out I don't know, let's say you're laying out a garden, you want your rows. You get a 300 footer, you just lay it out. You can just line everything up, so it just makes life a little easier. You're doing a lot of building and stuff. This clamp, this is an actual, this is a clamp. It's a fully adjustable. This one here is actually a Bessie. That's a brand name, Bessie. This is my big one. I got smaller ones, and I got ones that are bigger than this. The reason I like these clamps is for everything. So, you know, you can clamp it this way instead of sitting there like a normal C-clamp. You got to thread it in. This one I can just move it in. I can clamp it. You know, you tighten it. Then if you do something a little bigger, you know, it's just quick and easy, and I make it look tough because I'm sitting. But yeah, it's a really nice, easy clamp. Depending where you go, some places I can get these for 50 bucks a piece. I've seen these for $20 a piece. They might be a little cheaper, but if you're not using them all the time, they're really nice. If you're when you're building to hold something in place, they're just lovely. And another thing, when you're it's made by Bicycle, and it's chain clamp. And use these things for everything. Let's say if you're, you know, you can't get a pipe, you know, you get into an area where you can't put let's say a pipe wrench. Well, you sneak this chain through it, and you know, you have that around your pipe. You know, you just put it in there, clamp it, or tighten it up. You know, now you got an instant, you know, now it's tight. You know, and the reason I like these, I've used them, you know, you want to do something else, something bigger, you know, they'll go around anything. And the original chains, I do believe they only come up about here, so you can buy the extension. And I have some of these where I got 2 extensions tacked on them, so they were like really, really long. But I use them for pipe and a whole bunch of other stuff. But yeah, just a vice grip chain grip like this, These things are so handy. Once you use them and get used to them, like, oh yeah, these things are just brilliant. I use them to hold stuff. You know, you just clamp it on and put it around, clamp it, and just hold two pieces together. It's just brilliant. So that's about it. And I hope you like it. If you like this, what I've showed you, give me a like. And please hit the subscribe button if you, I'll have more, subscribe button, and I'll have more for you. I want to do another video on, 2 more videos. I don't know when I'm going to get to them. I want to do one on chainsaws. I'm not going to go through a whole bunch of brands. I'm just using the ones I use and the ones I like. And also I want to do one on your basic power tools. And if you have any comments, just put them in the comments below. I'd love to read them. If you have any cool tools that you like, that you use and they're helpful, show me. Please send me a link or a picture, and I'd like to see it too. And if we can find it up here, I'd actually like to try it. I love tools, so no big deal. But as far as that goes, just remember, homesteading, one dime at a time. Remember, you can only do one chore at a time. You might as well just give her.